Hello to you all. This is Prophetess and Mayoral candidate Opal Covey with a message for you. The underpowers of Toledo hijacked Toledo decades ago and have been running Toledo ever since, lining their pockets with our money. Controlling the media and board of election is their favorite pastime equational game to figure out how to rig elections so they can keep our money rolling into their bank accounts. Every election is different. They must elect two liberal puppets in the primary election, which either one of them in November will bow to their wishes. These two cannot be faith-based like myself because they cannot operate under the power of God. They cannot be real Christians. Reference the WLMB Channel 40 Debate and Blade article. Please read the Blade article. You can only say what they believe. They can only say what they believe, but possess nothing. They do not mention God during the whole campaign process, like I did. These underpowers work behind the scene to make sure they have these two puppets on the September ballot, even if they have to bring in a candidate late or just before the petition's filing deadline, like you have watched them do, especially with Bell, Finkbeiner, and Ford. My personal opinion is their target is putting Bell on the mayor's seat. Remember, the excitement and publicity was overwhelming when Bell came aboard the campaign. Because a God person comes to destroy the evil works of darkness, they had to ban me on all of the media debates, roundtables, and interviews, knowing they were frauding our Constitution for fair elections. To try and keep themselves out of jail, banning me entirely would cause prosecution. So every now and then, my name was mentioned or something done on me at the tail end of the campaign after the other five had been on TV and newspapers for months, soaking your brains to vote for them. Rigid action, even against Knopp, was intentional also by the media. He was the only other candidate with some Christian principles. Had Knopp not held a government position, he too would have been banned to sit with the other four. The five candidates knew banning me off of the debates was fraud. However, none of them stood up for our Constitution, never demanding Opal be included. But all of them soaked up the publicity they were getting, not caring if it meant stepping on me. I even rebuked Bell and Collins for this awful sin, but they didn't care. To sell your souls for a seat is not worth it. Selling Toledo out to its underpowers to keep us in the slime pits will only be answerable to God, even as it was in the time of Moses. I am a chosen vessel and sent to Toledo by God on this special assignment. I have gone through these underpower horrors of destroying my four businesses built by God himself. Your vengeance for this will come from God, underpowers. As you will know, all of my destructions were for your gain. The mayors are your mascots, which possess nothing but a graceful bow to Toledo's underpowers and perpetrators of Toledo's wealth and the citizens' poverty. The Board of Elections bows to these underpowers and distributes the votes to keep these two nothing puppets in the primary election on top with such a high vote count that no other candidate can come close to winning. So all others will concede and walk away not contesting their votes. Now at this point, the underpowers have accomplished another frauded false election, laughing all the way to the bank with mission accomplished for another 4 years, to live in luxury off of your money. They will continue running this city, the same as it's been going with no change. However, the reason I was fought so hard keeping me off the media and now stealing my thousands of votes because I know I was the top vote getter and also the top poll winner. Even through all of their corruption to fraud the election to keep me from winning first place, I made it with God's help anyway. I am your real mayor, and I know I will also come in first place in the general election too. I ask you underpowers who rigged God's elections for the third time to give it up. Give me back my votes and position. You well know I represent the change in government from corruption to incorruption. You know I have the key and the power to change to Toledo because it comes from God to bless the citizens with jobs and wealth. You know you are holding back God's blessings so you can be richer. So trying to be richer, you are bringing God's wrath on Toledo, making us suffer more because of your sins of rigging a false election for decades. If you continue to rule Toledo, you will completely destroy it. Where are you going to get riches from then? Maybe go to another city and destroy it too? God knows every one of you. Act now before his vengeance arrives, which will be more and worse than ever before. I will never give up my seat as your God-chosen mayor, sent to bless the citizens of Toledo with wealth, not poverty. This has been no surprise to me, the media rigging and stealing of my votes. It is Satan fighting hard to keep his evil position, destructing and stealing from Toledo. You will lose, Satan. God will win and control this city once again. All you've had running this city for decades is puppets. This is Prophetess and Mayoral candidate Opal Covey, 2236 Broadway Street, Toledo, Ohio, 43609. Phone 419-243-6531. I ask all of you who voted for me, please send me your name and address, or stop by, or give me a phone call. We will do our own vote count. I will fight until I get the mayor's seat. I will never give up until I get it. Thank you.